in them. Like, you know, like those perfume inserts that you can scratch and then you smell them. We stapled like 4 of them together, and we like brought them to our lunch. And this kid, he was so crazy. Like, he was this little Mexican kid. His name was James. And well, when we touch him, he was like ghetto. Like, he was real ghetto. He was like a ghetto little kid. And he would like flip his shit. He'd be like, "Why the fuck you touching me, man? What the fuck, man?" we'd always touch him and shit. And like, I mean, dude, we get him all the time. He was like, and like, if you didn't freak out, like, I probably wouldn't touch you because you weren't funny. But that kid, dude, he ate shit by everyone. Everyone touched that motherfucker. And like, and so we were sitting at lunch, and fucking this kid named Justin gets up and he grabs the insert and he walks over to the kid while he's eating his lunch and he starts rubbing it on his chest. And the kid gets up, just stands up, just drops his lunch tray, gets up, and just goes, he's like, "What the fuck, man? What the fuck are you doing, man?" And then, like, Justin, like, started, like, tingling his fingers at him back and forth and was going, "Ooh." And we were all watching this from far away, and it was so funny. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And then this black kid named Shane goes, "Man, that motherfucker's putting a hex on that motherfucker." and then we started calling him the Hexakin. Because he was a little Mexican, started calling him Hexakin, then we started calling him Hex. Well, the funny part about that is this fucking kid had like a fucking retarded ass brother or some shit, like some kid who was in like a 7th year senior, like in like a fucking retarded class or some shit all day, and like the next day, or no, that all happened and we kept touching him and all that shit, and then it was whatever. I get them mixed up all the time. But I'm going to tell some other stories before I get to the final one. Hex is the end of the game for me, but that's where it stopped. But it was going on for a while after that shit. And so, I mean, like I said, one time I was in now imagine me doing this like every day for like 2 years. Okay, everyone knows to get out of the way if I'm coming. If they don't, they're going to get touched. And like, everyone played it. Everyone played the game. It was bad. It was bad when Tyler went to our school. Like, it was fucking, me and Ryan would go on raids every day after school, and that's how we met this kid named Josiah. He was like the best player of the game. He would just go crazy. He would, like, when we were leaving the parking lot, he would like get in parents' cars when we were going to our cars. He would get in like parents' cars and like go through the door and then go out the other door and just leave them open. He was fucking crazy. And like, he was so good at the game, like he became the game master. Like, he was the best. And like, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so all that shit, like, Tyler saw it. Tyler knows this existed. He still does it. Like, it's still a fucking thing going on at that school years after I'm gone. It's been almost 4 years and it's still happening, and they don't know what to do because they know that I started it. And like, because, dude, when I got in trouble for it, it was fucking serious. Like, it was fucking serious as fuck. But anyways, back to the same story. Okay, so imagine, like, you don't know what this is, and 4 kids come in dressed like rednecks to your school that you've never seen before. Like, I could have gotten arrested for this, like, thinking about it now. But, like, I went into Woodland, a completely different school, and the bell rang, and all these kids just came out in the hallway. I was just standing out in it with 4 people. Okay, these kids have never seen it before, and I just went into like adrenaline rage mode, and we walked around the school 2 times, and just because it's their school, every school in Henry County is identical. They are all the same. They all look exactly the same. They have the same outline. What's the word I'm looking for?
The layout.
Layout, yeah. They have the same fucking layout. So, like, we knew where we were going, and we did this twice. We did this 2 times that year. Like, we went to that school and did it, and like, now imagine like you've never seen it before. Like, you don't really like look at me when I walk by. So imagine like someone touching you for the first time, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And then imagine like a kid right after that coming up and touching you, because they were all 4 of them were touching kids that I touched because I was leading it. They would all touch kids that I was touching. Some kid Tyler went into a fucking
just started listening to what you were saying.
Good.
They all touched kids that I was touching. I was like, what the fuck am I hearing?
It's so much this conversation, it sucks.
Yeah, dude, you're missing quite a bit right now.
It's about the game I used to play in high school where we used to touch kids, and I did it for like 2 years. To give you
That doesn't
Oh my
sound
God,
any better.
say that, guys.
Like, what? I used to walk by kids in the hallway and like run my hand across their chest and go, "Ah," and then I'd be gone, and they wouldn't know what happened. And then it got so bad that like 15 kids all day were playing it, and like you touch like 60 kids a day, like no joke, and like it was crazy. But anyways, back to the story. And when I was in this other school, now like imagine like you've never dealt with it before, and like you just walk in and these kids don't even know, dude, and you just touching them, and like you get touched, and then like 5 seconds later you get touched again and again and again and again. Like these kids had no idea what was going on.
They didn't have
Greg,
any fucking clue.
Greg, I went to another school and did this game too on my senior skip day. Yeah, when their bell rang, I was in their hallway. It was a brand new school, and I just walked right in and just did it. But anyways, that's not the point. So anyways, like, time goes on. My senior year, my second semester, I started the year out with 30 days of ISS. So, like, I wasn't...
Why exactly?
I got in trouble like a bunch of times that week, and it just all accumulated. I had the record at my school. I probably still have it. But I was in there for literally a month.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So like halfway during my sentence, I get called to the office, and I walk in there, and Hex is in there, and he's crying. And I was like, what the? Like when I got called in there, I was like, what the fuck could I have done just sitting there? I've been sitting here for like 2 weeks. Like what could I have done? And I walk in there and I see him crying, and I just went, oh fuck. And like he was, crying and shit. And the principal just goes, do you know this kid? I was like, I don't know his name. And he goes, well, now you don't even know what he looks like. He's like, poof, you just forgot who he was. He's like, I don't know what you guys are doing to him, but you need to tell your friends they need to stop. I was like, okay, I've been sitting in the office for I've been sitting in ISS for 2 weeks. I have no part in whatever's going on. He was like, well, he remembered you, so you need to tell them to quit. Well, like literally 5 days later, not even that, I get to school kind of early, and I see my friend Ty, who was an avid player of the game and my guitar player from my old band, and I was like, hey man, I was like, what's going on? And then shot the shit for a second, and we walked into the vending machine room to get a Coke before school started, and we walk in there, and Hex walks by and touches Ty, and Ty just grabs him by the throat in a split second and puts him up against the vending machine and goes, don't you ever fucking touch me again, and drops him. And I was like,
This
no.
Tyler right here?
No, not me.
And I was like, no, like, fuck. I was like, why did you do that? And he was like, a motherfucker's not gonna fucking touch me. And I was like, well, god damn it. So, like, literally, like, 2 minutes later, we go and sit back down at the lunch table and wait for the bell to ring. And Hex and his retarded brother come up with, like, 2 other little autistic black kids or something. We used to call the kids that Hexagon hung out with the Hexagon Armada. They were like beds, and they were like just like little black kids. And so that happened or whatever, and like his brother came up. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck you doing, my brother, man?" And I couldn't even take him serious. I just looked at him and I just put my hand up into my face and I just started doing the crying thing with my hand. I was like, "You gonna go to the office and cry, dude?" I was like, "You gonna go cry?" I was like, "You're tough now, but you're gonna go cry in 5 minutes." I was like, "When that bell rings, I'm gonna get called to the office." Literally, about 5 minutes after the bell rang and I was in first period, fucking Fletcher got on the goddamn intercom and fucking called me out there. I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. And I was like, I don't even care. And I went up there and I was like, whatever. So as soon as I get in there, you got to keep this scenario in your head. Okay, you got to keep it going the whole time so you understand what this room looked like when I was in it. And by the time, I've been in there so many fucking times, they knew me, they hated everything about me. And that was that. Fletcher hated me. All the principals, they fucking hated me because I was such a douche.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
I mean, dude, wasn't it? I was always getting in trouble all the time.
Yeah.
For no reason, all the time, just no reason. But anyways, they and I never did anything like ridiculous. Like I never did anything that was like crazy, like like I fucking set some kid on fire or anything like that. I would get in trouble for like wearing my hood. like
Oh
up,
shit!
and it sucked.
You get out of here, Oppenheimer.
I'm healing.
I'm out
But
of
any,
here.
Can't be wearing your hood up, man. They
I
don't know
know.
who you is.
no, it was retarded. I had long hair, like everyone knew who I was. You knew my name. They wouldn't even call me by my name. They would act like they didn't know who I was and be like, oh, okay. But anyways, the point is, I get into the office, and this is like the gold.
Mine.
This is what the game accomplished. This is where it all came down to win. Like, this is when I won. That was the day that I won the game. Like, I won. I fucking won. I went in there, and I get in the principal's room. I get into Fletcher's room. There's Principal Fletcher. He's sitting at the table. There's Principal Moreland, and he's standing up next to his desk, behind the desk. I get it, and then there's Hexican's brother, retarded brother, and then there's Hexican sitting in there, and he's crying. And I just I walk in and I sit down and I got like a grin on my face because I was so about to start laughing. And he goes, so I need to know. He's like, I need to know who the kid was that's in this tape. And I was like, you don't even have to worry about tape. I was like, no one's gonna try to hold out. I was like, I'll tell you who he is. Like, I was a douchebag. And he was like, okay, what's his name? I was like, his name's Tyler, but I think it goes by Jonathan Foster. And he was like, Ty, huh? And I was like, yeah, Ty. I swear to God, I have the write-up slip on my bulletin board in my room to this day. Like, the way his name, he goes by Tyler. His middle name's Tyler, but on the write-up, it looked like Jonathan, and then it looked like his alias. Like, it was like in quotation marks and parentheses. It said Ty and off. It was like his alias or some shit. Like, I don't understand it. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that he's he's talking to me for a second, and then like he calls Ty in there, and I know Ty gets in there because the office lady says something about him being in there, and he's like, yeah, send him back here. And then I just kind of get another grin on my face because I know he's coming in here. And then he goes, you think this is funny, don't you? And he goes, no, Moreland, no. He goes, let's just give him his moment to laugh. And they thought I was going to be like, oh, no. I looked at him, and I just went, and I fell over in my chair. Like, I'm like, just looking at my hand on my head, just laughing, like looking down. Now, keep in mind, this is the scenario. Moreland is like, oh, fuck. Fletcher is like, God damn it, why did I do this? Hexican's brother is looking at me like, this dude's crazy, and then Hexican is like crying, even still crying. And then like at that moment, like I'm laughing, Ty walks in, and he looks at Ty and he goes, I bet you think this is funny too. And Ty just goes, and he goes, sit in here. And we're still laughing, like we didn't stop. And they both start talking at once, and they're both talking at like both of us, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, you guys gotta stop talking at once. And then Fletcher was like, he's like, you don't tell us what to do, blah 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 blah. You guys are
Shit.
He's like, you guys are in potentially so much trouble right now. He's like, I could get you for sexual harassment and blah 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 blah. And he was like, and I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you touch him. He's like, I know what it is. He's like, yeah, you touch him and you think it's funny, but it's not. It's, I get you for bullying. It's going on and on and on. And then they both started talking again. I was like, look, I can't understand you when you're both talking at the same time. And he was like, you need to get out of here.